Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Delusional Daydreams podcast. I am your host, Ari Lou, and today I woke up with so much gratitude and so much hope for my future. I mean, obviously the pain is still there, but I feel like I'm on the upward mend. And a big part of that has definitely been coming from that final release of releasing him into his chapter, which mirrors me releasing myself into this new chapter of life, releasing the guilt and the shame of moving on into new beginnings and truly looking at the rest of my life as a blank slate. And feeling so grateful this morning that the rest of my book is blank pages with no limits, no bounds, no restrictions to who has to be in it, where I have to be, how things have to happen, when they have to happen, and what I am here to experience. It truly is just a blank slate of endless opportunity and possibility at this point, which is so freeing. And part of that release, the biggest thing I think that's been helping is not checking in. Part of the whole no contact, right? Like we're on almost 2 months no contact now. Isn't it crazy to think it's only been 2 months? And he's already so far in with this new girl. And I'm over here just barely getting over it. LOL. The universe really was protecting me from things that I could not see, that the universe could see was happening behind closed doors, behind my back, right? But part of this release has really been not checking in on him, on them, on her, to see, oh my gosh, are they done yet? Has he realized he misses me? Has he realized that, I'm the love of his life and I'm the one that got away, right? The delusion in my head. Yeah, releasing that bullshit and releasing him and not checking in. Because anytime I would check in and just see something new, see something of them progressing together, it just opened that door to the knife twisting even more. So we're not doing that anymore. And that has definitely helped me just feel more at peace day by day by day and not have that constant haunting in the back of my head because the image isn't as fresh. Because with each day of not checking in, it's fading slowly, thank God, because that is just so painful. But yeah, this morning I woke up in gratitude of just feeling so protected from things that in the present moment I don't necessarily have awareness to, or information I don't have access to, or truth that isn't revealed to me yet. And it was crazy because part of this release, I went through and updated his contact in my phone. So it's no longer Luke, the one and only, with his photo. And, I updated it to his full name, got rid of the photo. So I'm not constantly reminded of that. And I went through and deleted our messages on my phone because I didn't like any time I'd go to my text messages, his thread being right there to remind me. One last thing I have to do is take all of our photos in the album I named First Draft, and I need to upload them to my hard drive because I don't want to get rid of them. Because someday I will look back at every aspect of my life in such a fond memory because everything builds into who I am and is a part of my journey. So it's not like I want to get rid of these memories, but I do want to store them away so I can get them off my phone where I'm not seeing them constantly. So that's the next step. But as I was getting on my computer today, I realized because my messages are synced from my phone and my computer, I was looking at my messages because the thread that I deleted on my phone didn't delete on my computer. And I was just going back through our messages And all those messages and all those times I had this inkling that something was going on. Something didn't feel right. But we hadn't gone no contact yet. And I was just looking through these messages and I could just see crystal fucking clear. Clear as fucking day. Wow. He really tried to play me that hard. He really tried to get away with it that hard. He really was playing that game. And I could just see through all the messages. I was like, wow. I really was being protected when my intuition was telling me, hey, I deserve better. Like, we can't be talking anymore. Because I was the one that initiated the no contact. I was the one that was like, yo, I feel betrayed, and I know I shouldn't feel betrayed because you told me that you're busy and you're going through a lot right now, and I can't expect you to be in contact and ready to communicate with me on a level that I'm trying to communicate with you. And for my own sanity, I need to release you because this just hurts me. It's crazy to think that my intuition was telling me like, wow, you're being betrayed, even though when you read the text messages, it doesn't look like that at all. But I look back at it now and I'm like, the script, the facade is so legit and I can just see it. But I'm actually glad that they didn't delete because now I've got the proof. L-O motherfucking L. And I think the saddest part too is like, yo, this new girl that he's with, like, how long have they actually been seeing each other, sleeping with each other, hanging out, being together? And those first few months that they were together, the stuff that him and I were still talking about, the messages that were being sent back and forth, like, he was playing not only me, but playing her. And how much of this truth does she know? Like, I honestly kind of feel bad because what a shit way to start the relationship. But that's not my lane to step in, right? That's not my truth to reveal. But damn, like, that's not an authentic start to something real. I can tell you that right freaking now. But yeah, I just feel so grateful for feeling so protected on the spiritual, on the other side of things in the background, because my intuition knows what's up. I am truly being guided, even though in the moment of being guided, it may not make sense all the time. So just waking up feeling super grateful for all of this and where I'm at, and feeling the release, slowly releasing in the haunting image, slowly fading, and just feeling like I truly am in such a powerful stance with so much opportunity. And it just feels so good to be at this point in my life and in my journey where it's like I'm no longer burying my dreams and the things I want to do and experience because I'm surrendering to someone else's script. It's like now that script is wiped away and the preconceived life that I thought I was going to be living is no longer existent, it's like all these dreams, all these things that I want to experience are now very real possibilities. Endless possibilities for myself. And I feel like now that I'm in this like awakened conscious state, and truly for the first time I feel like alive and awake. I had this like epiphany the other day where it was like, I really feel like my life is actually just starting, because up until this point I felt like I was just moving through, I was being blown around like dust in the wind. I was just being blown around with no conscious thought in making decisions for myself based off of my self-worth and value. I was just settling and self-sabotaging and getting in my own way. And I just feel like for the first time, it's like I'm consciously making intentional effort step by step in this journey and in this life. And it truly feels like my life is just beginning, which is just so amazing. But it made me think of a flash to the first Harry Potter movie. And how Harry Potter, right, has lived this whole childhood life thinking that he's a muggle in this pretty shitty family situation. And it wasn't until he was revealed the truth about who he is, what he's capable of, what his powers are, that his life truly began. And it just seems like everything before that was just like, oh, like that wasn't his real life. This now is his real life. So I just had this flash of like, I mean, I know I'm not a wizard and going to Hogwarts, but it truly does feel like, oh my God, this truth of revealing of my value and my worth and what I bring to the table and what I'm capable of and this newfound confidence. It's like, I truly do feel like I'm about to step through the brick wall and into this new world, and it's nothing but a whole life ahead of me and something that I've never experienced. And I got really excited too because I was reflecting on my life, and I've had some pretty miraculous movie-like moments, magical moments happen in my life. Truly things that you could only fathom being in movies. Like, I have had moments in my life where I'm like, oh my God, this is a movie right now. This is actually happening. This is pure fucking magic. And when I was reflecting on all those little moments that I've had in my life, and I mean, I haven't had a ton of them, but I have definitely had a handful of magical movie moments happen in my life. And I just kept thinking to myself, like, wow, if I've had miracles like this happen in my life in my unconscious sleeping state, imagine what kind of miracles I'm going to experience in this newfound awakened conscious state of being. Imagine what those miracles are going to be like when I'm awake and conscious and the mirror of my reality is a reflection of my newfound worth. I am in for a real treat. That's all I'm going to tell myself. I am in for a real treat and I can feel it in my bones. I'm so excited. So yeah, a lot of hope, a lot of gratitude for just the journey to come. I had this dream last night. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to go into like super specific details, but one of my coworkers was in my dream, and I don't think it has anything. Actually, I know it has nothing to do with the actual person that was in my dream. But in my dream, this person and I were like dance partners, and we were like salsa dance partners. I don't know what kind of dance, but we were partner dancing, and we entered this dance competition. We ended up winning, and we like discovered this passion together and this newfound hobby, and we ended up just like meshing really well, and like it brought out this whole new side of ourselves. And then we fell in love, and like we were exploring the world and doing what we love together, and it was just like this whole adventure of just passion within adventure, experience, hobbies, like human to human connection, what we're capable of. It was like mind blowing. And I woke up and I was definitely thrown off by who I was doing that with in my dream. And I'm like, that's not what that's about. But I think the whole dream itself is about, wow, I am at this point where I can experience something like that in my life with someone in my life and have such a passionate connection, not only with the things I'm pursuing and doing and experiencing in my life, but who I'm doing it with. And I'm so excited to have the opportunity of possibility to experience something like that. And I just woke up and I'm like, oh my gosh, this veil of like endless possibility is opening up to me. And I no longer feel, so sad and pained by everything that was going on, because I just feel so hopeful and alive and excited about what's to come, and not having any preconceived expectations on who that's going to be with, what it's going to look like, what it's going to turn out to be, how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, but just realizing that there's going to be magic happening within my life. And I'm just so excited for it. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity for that to be my life. It's just so cool. Damn. And it's wild too, because, you know, a part of this whole reflecting on life too and releasing everything of my past chapter with my ex, for so many years in my last relationship, I really did feel like I had wasted some of the most prime years of my life. I felt like I truly wasted those years through my own self-sabotaging behavior, through being lazy, through being addicted to substances, and not having drive, not having inspiration, and settling and putting all of my energy into someone else rather than putting that energy into becoming myself. I just felt like when the relationship ended and all that energy I put into someone else for them to be catapulted into where they're at today and me being left with nothing but rock bottom, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, it just felt like such a waste of my energy. But I'm realizing, I woke up today just realizing that none of that time, none of that relationship, none of that connection, none of those experiences were wasted opportunities. In fact, I look at all of it as like the biggest learning lesson of my entire life. Because that whole relationship, that was the first time in my life that I went full motherfucking force all in on a relationship. Like within 2 months of us dating, like we were set on being married, right? Like we basically crunched a 10 to 15 year relationship into 3.5, 4 years. And we went full motherfucking force, all in, fully committed. We did everything together, built this life together. And I'm coming to realize, like, if you're going to do something, don't half-ass it. That's a waste of your time. If you're going to do something, do it full force. Do it full out. Because when you do something full out, that's how you're going to get the most out of that experience. And that's how you're going to learn to the fullest depth that that experience can teach you. And I came out of this experience not only alive, because through all the hardships that him and I had, that it felt like the world was just tossing our way, especially with the miscarriages and the first one that I literally almost fucking died. I almost did not physically make that out of that one. So the fact that I'm even alive and breathing today is a goddamn miracle. But the fact that I made it out of this relationship alive, and not only the miscarriages, but my mental health. There were so many moments like I truly did not think I was going to make it on my own accord. So the fact that I am alive, feeling stronger than ever, knowing to the depth who I am, and I'm still discovering this, but I know myself more than I've ever known and understood myself before. I know what I believe in. I know how I perceive this world. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I like, what I don't like, what I want, what I don't want. I just have such a deep understanding of myself that it truly, I wouldn't have come to where I'm at today if I wouldn't have taken all those years in the hermit mode, digging through the depths of my shadow self and truly coming to learn about myself in the depths of that darkness. And it's not only do I know myself, but it's like I look at all the things that we've accomplished and experienced together. And the things that we accomplished and experienced together, the things that we've overcome, like none of that was time wasted. Holy shit. I look at all the things we've accomplished and I'm just like, damn, I was a part of that. Damn, I did that. Damn, we did that. We experienced that. Like, I initiated that. That was my vision. That was my dream. That was my plan of attack. Like, holy shit. Like, whoa. So none of that was time wasted. If anything, it pushed me into realizing what I'm capable of. Truly. Through and fucking through. And it's just making me realize, like, that was such an essential part of my journey. Because if I would have skipped over that entire experience, I would still be back where I was, 2020, unhealed, completely traumatized, just going in circles, going in circles, going in circles. And I do not want to go back there. LOL. I don't want to go back there. I don't want to go back to that naivety. I don't want to go back to that victimized mindset, that just constant loop of spiraling and self-sabotaging. I don't want to go back to that. And I had to go through the trenches. And even though it took me 3.5, 4 years to get to where I'm at today, there's no race. What timeline am I trying to compare to? If anything, like I said, we put a 10 to 15 year relationship and squeezed it into 3.5, 4 years. So if anything, I feel like, damn, I'm ahead of the curve. I really am. Like we raced right through all those learning lessons, and here I am today on top, and I'm not even 30 yet. Damn. Like I went through the university of life, the university of hard knocks, right? I got my freaking PhD in life essentials, human development, becoming of oneself. And that to me is the most valuable education I could have ever, whoa. Oh, my dog just scared me. But that is the most valuable education I could have ever received and gone through. So yeah, I'm at this point where it's like, thank God I'm at where I'm at. Thank God I experienced things the way I experienced them in the timeline that I did. And things ended the way that they did. Because now I'm at just completely open doors of possibilities. And I'm just so fucking grateful. Yeah, it's just so fucking cool. Because now it's like, I know what my priorities are. And granted, things can always shift through life, but right now I feel so set in stone on what my priorities are, what my values are, what my morals are, what I want, what I don't want, what I like, what I don't like. And as I navigate this world, it's like I'm navigating it in my authentic truth without having to put on this facade, without having to compromise, without feeling like I'm settling for anything. I am just moving through this, completely feeling like I can breathe within myself. That is freedom. That is true freedom. And I'm just so grateful. Damn. Okay. But I think that's all I have for today, folks. It's funny, I was actually not even going to record anything today because I'm starting somewhat of a new project today. Because I have this newfound inspiration because I feel like I've been kind of in like a lull the last like month and a half of discovering everything, processing, transmuting this pain, working on this podcast, just moving through day to day. And I've just been getting kind of bored. I'm like, okay, I'm sick of blah, 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 day by day. So I'm like, okay, with the resources that I have access to, what's the next step? And I finally figured out what my next step of action is. So I'm starting that today, and I was going to take a break from this podcast. But as I had this revelation this morning, I was like, I need to get this in. I need to record this and get this out and share this, because I was reminded through editing a video last night, this whole podcast is about the therapeutic journey and truly getting all the juiciness of my internal realizations and my internal opening of perceptions through this journey documented and recorded. And this journey is not perfect. The realizations are not perfect. It's not one linear line up. It is definitely a fucking roller coaster. But today I definitely feel like I'm on the upward mend, and I needed to get this gratitude out. And today is the fucking solar eclipse. We're in eclipse season. Right, because I'm not putting this out in real time that I'm experiencing this. But today is solar eclipse day, which is just ironic that I'm getting all this opening of gratitude and perception on today, inviting new beginnings in, planning on taking the first step of action towards my new beginning and new project, newfound inspiration. The alignment. Isn't that fucking wild? The alignment of everything that I'm going through truly has just aligned with the natural world on such a deep level. And that is just, life is ironic, but nothing is coincidence. There's more happening behind the scenes. There's more alignment going on than just random shit happening. At least that's what I believe, right? Like, believe what you want, but whatever you believe is true, as above, so below. Anyways, so fucking cool. But yeah, that's all I have for today, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to me just ramble on. Find clarity with each and every day, each and every moment, and just allowing me to process all of it through the dumping, through the releasing of everything. I've come to this realization too, where it's like, this project is not just for me. Like, granted, this has been huge therapy for me and a huge way for me to expend my energy and work on something and process things, and find clarity and intention. But I also really hope that this provides a sense of relatability in those who are going through something similar or struggling with similar struggles. You're not alone. You're definitely not alone if you're going through this. And I think another big thing I've come to realize is, like, when you're going through something really difficult and you're trying to process things, it's like, when I try and talk to some people about what I'm going through, it's like all I hear is like, oh, you should like only give yourself one day of feeling bad and then only think about the good things and just be on an upward mend right away. And having, low days isn't normal, and having low days for a month and a half isn't normal. It's just like, for me, that wasn't realistic in my processing and transmuting of this. Like, truly, this has been a fucking roller coaster. And it's been a lot of feeling this and a lot of facing this and a lot of ups and a lot of downs, a lot of back and forths. And if that's how you're feeling too, I want you to realize that that's normal, right? And feel what you need to feel, embrace what you need to embrace, and realize that your journey isn't meant to look any certain way. And for it to look like this is not fucking realistic, because linear is perfection and perfection is an illusion. So if you are going through something difficult where you constantly feel like you're going back and forth, you constantly feel like you're going up and down, and it's taking you time to get on that upward mend, you're not alone. You're not alone. That's natural. It's a part of the process. And not one person's process is going to look like anybody else's. So I hope this podcast provides a sense of healing in the fact that you're not crazy for feeling what you're feeling, thinking what you're thinking, and going through what you're going through, and processing it on your terms, on your time. You're not crazy. And you're not weak. Okay? You're authentic to you. And you're feeling things as things are moving through you, which is so beautiful and so divine. Anyways, I think I'm officially done. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your week, day, month, year, eternal lifetime of experiences. Until next time, Ari Lou signing out. Peace punch, Captain Crunches. Okay. Bye.